Hello everyone and welcome to A Slice of My Life. Today the background's a little bit different because I decided that I didn't want to use the usual black background. Just once in a while, you know, gotta switch things up here and there. But I have the FlickDeck for you guys, and I've actually had the FlickDeck for close to 2 months now. I backed the Kickstarter campaign back in December 2016, and I'd like to give the FlickDeck team some props because it's hard to keep to the timeline that you promised, especially when it's on the Kickstarter campaign, but they delivered it in March this year, and I've had it for a couple of months now. And to be honest, the reason why I haven't made a video review on it is because there really wasn't much motivation to do so. If you look at it, you'll see that it is an interesting looking spinner, a little bit unique, but that's about all I can say about it. It is nothing more than just another novelty spinner, in my opinion. Check it out. This is the spin time. Yeah, it's really quite bad, people. It's really quite bad. So first of all, let me just give you a quick size comparison with a stubby. Here, it is twice the length of a stubby. Stubby just stops at almost right smack in the middle of the button. Let's talk about the build. It is made of aluminium, and this one is anodized in a dark grey color. I believe that the other colors available are red, blue, I think Kickstarter green, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, and this color. And it is a 608 bearing spinner with aluminium caps as well. And everything about this spinner is not very good in my opinion. I could be overly negative about it, but I just don't want to be. Now, the gimmick of the FlickDeck is that it's supposed to be a bottle opener, but unfortunately it doesn't really open bottles very well. I've used the FlickDeck to open a couple of bottles, and let me tell you, the experience wasn't that fantastic. I don't know, it's just something about it, it's the way it's made or something, I'm not so sure. Now, the performance of this thing honestly was a bit disappointing, so what I did was reach out to Jordan Rapp of FlickDeck and ask him a few questions about this guy. This is the FlickDeck V1 made in aluminium, and the FlickDeck V2, which is made in stainless steel, has already been funded on Kickstarter, and yes, I backed that one up as well because I wanted to know the difference between V1 and V2 and see if there really was going to be an improvement. So here's all the gripes I have about this guy. Aluminium is light. That's not really a gripe, so I'll skip that part first of all. The bearing, if I bring it close, you'll see that this part is actually unshielded, but this side over here, you can see the hint of red. That means that the rubber shields are still on. I'll try and bring it closer a bit so you guys can see. And when asked about this, Jordan mentioned that the bearings arrived this way, so they used the bearings lock, stock and barrel. Next is the aluminium buttons. Now, these buttons are really smooth. They are flat and really smooth, and they offer no sort of grip whatsoever. So if the FlickDeck was gonna be any heavier, it would easily slip out of your hand. It's a good thing that it's made of aluminium because aluminium is light, so you don't really have to put so much grip here. Another downside of the button is that it is press fit, and it is press fit in such a way that it's not meant for you to take out. Since I mentioned that the buttons are press fit, I would like to mention that the bearings are press fit as well. Neither the bearing or the buttons are glued in place. There is no glue. Everything is press fit. However, Jordan mentioned that it is not designed to be taken out. So I have no idea how I'm supposed to take it out if I ever want to. Like, the button seems to be completely stuck and I have kind of damaged the button. Let me just get the right lighting for you guys. You can see that imperfection right there. Yeah, it's a small little nick, but that is caused by myself because I was trying to pry the buttons apart. I mean, I knew that it was press fit, but I didn't think that it was not meant to be removed. So I have no idea how these things were actually pressed in, and it is irking me quite a bit. So that's another downside. He did, however, share that from feedback given by all his customers so far, that they've decided to go ahead and make screw-on buttons instead for the V2 at least, but those will cost a little bit more definitely. At the same time, he mentioned that they've also changed their bearing supplier, but I don't really know what that means. Changing a supplier doesn't directly mean that you're gonna get upgraded bearings, you know what I mean? Like, if you get the same kind of bearings, it's gonna be the same performance anyway, so I don't know what that really meant, but I'm just hoping that it is higher grade bearings. And the stainless steel version weighs in twice as much as this aluminium version, so I guess I'm gonna expect a longer spin time, I suppose. But the whole ideology behind the FlickDeck itself was not meant to be a long spinner. It was just meant to be a nice looking spinner that you could carry around, and these are their words, by the way, not mine. They wanted to make a nice looking spinner that you could carry around and would also double up as a bottle opener. That was their goal, and if that's strictly their goal, then I would say that they have produced exactly what they wanted. But for an enthusiast like myself, I am sorely disappointed at this. This is cheap, honestly. It was about 19 USD, $19, which is not bad, but I don't think I'll be ever keeping this. This is more like a gift sort of thing, like a gag gift or a novelty item. That's what it is. Like if I wanted to get this FlickDeck as a novelty item, then yeah. But I got it because I wanted to see how well it would perform as a spinner and how well it would perform as a bottle opener, and I'm sad to say that I don't think it performs either job well. So no offense to you, Jordan, and the FlickDeck team, but I'm not very impressed with your product. I mean, you developed something that was true to your goal, and kudos to you for that. But for me, I don't think it's something that I really like. Let's talk about the fidgetability, since this is a fidget spinner review video. Fidgeting wise, you guys gotta be really careful. The best way to fidget with this guy is up here. If you're using a pull back or push forward on your index finger, that's the best way to fidget with this guy in my opinion. Because you guys already know I like to perform preloaded flicks like that, and doing a flick like that in this orientation is super dangerous because the sharpest edge is right here, and I'm talking about really sharp. This was designed to lodge under a bottle cap, so it's really sharp. If you get your finger here and you pull back, you're going to hurt yourself. It's so sharp to the point that if you just lightly press it against your skin and you pull it, you're going to rip out a chunk of your flesh for sure. So that's really no joke, guys. Oh, by the way, see those marks over here? Yeah, those were caused when I open up a bottle. So, you know, that's one thing I really hate about anodized finishes. They actually nick pretty easily in my opinion. You get a scratch on them and they show very obviously. So that's one reason why I hate anodized or coated spinners. Yeah, I like raw finishes more because of that. But anyway, if you have it on the flat side and you perform a preloaded flick, that's completely fine. That is the way to go if you want to perform a preloaded flick. But then again, like I said, if this thing is meant for you to be carrying around and you reach in your pocket, you pull it out, you don't want to worry about whether or not you have it in this orientation or in this orientation. If you want it to be a fidget spinner, then at least this shouldn't be so sharp. Same thing goes for the middle finger grip with your fourth finger, pushing and pulling. This is really quite scary. I can totally feel it digging to my skin, so I am very, very conscious of that. So this way is perfectly fine. With the same grip, if you perform preloaded flicks, it's fine. But if you're pushing forward, then you might have to be careful as well because the sharp edge is right there. So in terms of fidgeting, sorry, it doesn't really work as well. And it table spins, but it is not a long spinner. And I'll just show you guys again how long it actually really spins. Ta-da! That's like what, barely 20 seconds? Yeah, unfortunately. Hopefully the V2 will see much longer spin times, I'm not so sure. But I'll say it again, FlickDeck wanted to make a product that was not meant to be a long spinner. They wanted something that you could quickly fidget with, would look cool enough for you to bring out, and would double up as a bottle opener. And in my opinion, it doesn't open bottles very well. It doesn't look all that cool, but design is subjective, and fidgeting might cause you more pain than pleasure. That is my opinion. Sorry FlickDeck, I really wanted to give it a better review, but this is really what I feel about it. I don't think I'll be keeping this. I might just give it away to someone that I think would have more fun with it, I suppose. And that's about it, guys. That's all for this review. I know it's really short and I hope it's not overly negative, but really I was fishing for something good to say about it and I really did not. So I hope that the information that I provided, or rather the lack of information that I provided, would help you decide whether or not the FlickDeck is for you. I understand that some of you might like this design simply because of the way it looks, and of course for the price point, because this is what, barely $19. And if you like it, then yeah, for sure, just check out the links in the video description because I always put links over there. Alright, so I will catch you guys in the next slice of my life. Have a good one, guys, and that's it. Sorry, I really tried, but this is really not for me. Bye!